Hey, I'm Jared Lanham and I own Refiner's Forge. I recently did a little video on about my forge timber framing slicks that I make. And one part of that is the handles. I don't make the handles myself. And today I'm at my friend Tim's shop and he turns the handles for me, both for my slicks and froes and also the timber framing chisels. So all those tools. And does it right here on this lathe. And so I thought we'd do a little video on just how he turns those handles. All right, so size stock I start out with is about 2 feet long ash, and most made out of cherry. Cherry's actually really good handle wood as well, and it's about 2 inches wide but 2 inches tall. And Tim turns them on this lathe right here. So let's watch and see how he does it.
Tool takes off big chunks of wood. Not a very smooth finish. So I take the edges off, the corners off with that, give it a generally round shape, and I come back with this tool which has a much finer edge and true up the roundness of it, and this tool will also do the majority of the rest of the work to shape the handle. Alright, we've got a nice round piece of stock now. So I'm going to use this this other handle that I turned that I unfortunately chipped out, but I can use it as a template. So I'm going to mark out where different parts of the handle are going to end and start. This is the socket tang. I'm going to mark where this bowl end starts and ends, and I want to have some left over so that it doesn't go flying off the lathe. real close. I'll take it right to where it's just about perfect, and then I'll probably leave it slightly large because we'll come back with sandpaper and that'll take a little bit more off to give it a nice smooth finish. So I don't want to take it too far down. Alright, so to define the size of the socket tang, take the calipers, the inside dimensions of the socket here to get real close to what that tang size needs to be. So we'll transfer that over to the base of the tang there. We've got a long ways to go, but that'll get real close to the size it needs to be to fit in that socket. Right for the top end. So we'll just narrow it down at the same taper as the socket, and it should fit pretty well after a little bit of finessing. Now that the tang is defined, we'll go back to the slick with the calipers and take the outside dimension of the socket, and that'll give us our shoulder depth behind the tang. And we'll go slightly larger because we'll be sanding this part. So that's pretty good there. And that'll define this shoulder depth. Okay, getting close, got a little bit more to go. It's just on the very end that caliper that we're looking for that width. I'm going to call that good because after we sand it, it's going to be very close to matching up really well with the outside of the socket. So that gives us 2 points of definition. So the rest of the slick handle will take shape based on the dimensions here and the dimensions back here. So I used 2 grits of sandpaper to put the final finish on the handles. 120 grit for the first sanding, and 220 for a nice smooth finish. And after the sanding, we'll put boiled linseed oil on here, followed by a beeswax based.
So the handle's all done except for just the final fit into the socket. You can see it's a little big there, and so I'll take that back to my shop and I'll just use a rasp and get the final fit down. So when you can tap it with a mallet on the end and seat it, and it's a nice tight fit, and then you can take it out and pack it up. Since this is a pretty long tool, a lot of people like to have it where you can take the handle out, but if you don't, you can epoxy it in there when you get it and have it permanently fitted. So I want to thank Tim. He's a great friend and does a fantastic job on these handles. He also does my fro handles. We'll do a video on that some other time. But thanks for watching, and if you want to get one of these high quality tools that will last generations, handcrafted by American craftsmen, you can check out refinersforge.com. I'll put a link in the description. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time on Refiner's Forge.